Hello and welcome to Autolysis Radio. This is your host, Dan Fry. So yes, it is January 17th, Friday, 2020, and I hope 2020's been treating you all nicely, hopefully. So yes, it's been an interesting week. Also, been good. This week went by way too fast, honestly. Way too fast. I actually had this whole thing planned out on last Friday. I actually crammed in like the last week's podcast and 2 live jam sessions on YouTube. And I was like, I'm not going to do this to myself. And all of a sudden, here we are, Friday, and I'm doing this to myself again. So I don't know, maybe I actually just do the podcast and YouTube stuff on Fridays and Saturdays or Fridays and Sundays and just kind of do it that way. It seems to be working that way. But yes, it was a great time. Actually on, Saturday, went out to a art show in Orlando at the Manes Emporium of Doubt for the Illuminated Paths in conjunction with Broken Machine Films. And it was actually a great time. So how it turns out is the Manes Emporium of Doubt is actually a house art gallery, and Illuminated Paths, the record label, or Broken Machine Films, I'm not sure which one's which, but they're both the same, owned by the same people, same person. It's a cassette. They produce cassette tapes for their record label. They have quite an extensive roster. Definitely check them out on Bandcamp. But yeah, it was a great show. Josh, he is the owner and founder of Illuminated Paths, Broken Machine Films, and had a bunch of his music available, and also had some really cool video projector, crazy circuit bending stuff. It was really interesting. It was a great time. Networked with a bunch of cool people. Met some really good people there, and just had my mind blown. I had no idea that there was actually such a large, I guess, noise community here in Jacksonville. This is what people were telling me down there. So yeah, all in all, it was a great time. So actually, that was supposed to be mentioned towards the end of my my program, my radio program. Anyway, so yes, to touch up on some new releases, Legal Threat has a new release that's coming out very soon. No date set yet, but it's probably going to look like probably tomorrow. Yes, you heard that right. It's a bit, spontaneous, but it is a EP, noise EP. It is interesting. When I was making it, I was doing a lot of exploring of recording sounds and putting them through my synth granulator, and was quite impressed with the results, and quite happy with it. It's a really, to me, it's a really interesting piece of work. Also, we have Adjective Noun, based in West Virginia. He is working on a also a noise. I'm not sure if it's an EP or an album, but totally looking forward to that. Super amazing person and talented, gifted dude he is. Also, excuse me. Right. We also just released the single of Into the Mist featuring Chaos Studio out of France. That one turned out really good. We've already released a music video for it. Chaos Studio, excuse me, Chaos Studio whipped up the video for it, and like it turned out fucking awesome. Totally worth checking out. Check out Chaos Studio on YouTube. The video Into the Mist is up. Also, it is up on Autolysis Records YouTube channel. You can watch it there as well. But actually just released it to be streaming like earlier this week. So that means it should be up on most streaming devices probably by next week or so, being Spotify, Amazon, etc. But there's like a million other streaming services, but we're on all of those, so it's all good. So yeah, you'll be able to stream that no problem and in no time. So also, what else we got going on? It's gonna be a busy next few weeks. I got a buddy of mine coming in from Poland. He's actually already in New York City right now as we speak. And Jashik, he is arriving on Monday to spend the month with us. He is an amazing person, amazing friend, incredible person. I actually met him when I was living in France, in the little village of Marseille. And yeah, they were doing a documentary and stopped by the brewery that I was living and working at the time. And they were doing shooting a documentary called Don't Pay Me. And they were touring Europe, going to these places, where people were doing workaways, or basically where you work in exchange for having somewhere to sleep and eat. And that's what I was doing at that brewery in France. And so yeah, they went on this tour of Europe, going to these places, meeting these people. And the film, I think this was done, gosh, how many years ago was that? 5, 6, jeez, was it that long ago? 5 years ago? Can't be. Anyway, yeah, gosh, seems like so long ago. So, yes, we are going to be doing a film screening of Don't Pay Me. It's finally completed, and we're actually going to be showing that at our first ever open house at our house where I live. We're calling it the House of Weirdos. So we're going to be doing that every last Friday of the month. But yes, we are going to be doing a film screening of Don't Pay Me, and if you can make it, please do. Message me for any deets, and I'll hook you up, the address and all that good stuff. You can also see that on I just posted something on our Autolysis Records Instagram page. Also my personal Instagram page, which my handle is pencilneck86. Yes, of course, pencilneck. Yes. So where else? What else is going on? I think, yeah, that's that. Man, So yeah, I got some really exciting stuff, really cool things happening. I mean, I'm super stoked for this open house. Just need to build that community, dude. And just need to just do it. Just get the music out there, get the art, get the love, because, man, it's, how else you gonna try to break in, into the scene or art world or whatever. It's, you can't just show up to a venue, I guess. I don't know. I guess I've overcomplicated it myself. So I don't know. I'm slowly figuring it out. But yeah, but also just having fun. Big things. So super stoked about it, and super stoked about what's coming up in the future. And it's perfect because it's January. So look at that. Yeah, man. So the jam sessions. I gotta break out of the same jam sessions, man. I gotta bust out my bass guitar. I got pedals. I got some other things. I gotta get more creative. I gotta start pushing that boundary a bit. I feel like I'm kind of going to like a sort of similar feedback loop. I don't know. So I gotta really push that boundary. I don't know. Interesting things. I'm still slowly figuring things out. I mean, I was on a 6-year hiatus of making music, so kind of getting back in the groove of things. It's really chaotic, I think it's the best way of putting it. Oh, yes. So, also, I just got my tape deck. So I'm going to start producing cassette tapes very soon. For our current releases and future releases. So super stoked about that. So I bought a Technics RS D550W. And it's funny because I saw it on eBay. Well, I was going to like tons of thrift stores around the area, and I could not find one dual well tape deck, and it was just getting annoying. So I was like, fuck it, man, I'm just gonna go on eBay and just find this thing. It was $50. That was including shipping. I think the thing was like, what do you call it? I don't know. The thing itself didn't cost $50. It was just everything together, right? So yeah, and funny enough, this was the same tape deck that my dad bought. I don't know when, but it was also the one that I adopted later in my late teens, busting out mixtapes for my record player, making punk mixtapes and stuff. So that was good. Also, man, I went on a crazy shopping spree recently for updating music equipment. Bought myself a Universal Audio Aero audio interface, which is, dude, that thing is crazy. It sounds fantastic. I mean, compared to my old audio box, PreSonus. It was a first generation. So, it was just, and that thing came out like 2004, some crazy shit like that. So it was like, old, didn't sound that great. The quality wasn't that good. But it worked for what I needed it to do, so that was good. But this thing, this UA Aero is fantastic. Excuse me. And the plugins on this are just out of this world. But it is slightly more complicated than it really needs to be. I guess that makes it professional. I don't even know, man. This thing, it's so weird. Like, I have to sometimes route things over to my loopback, which is like a routing software to direct where audio goes in, comes in from, and where it goes out to. And so I had to do that a few times and just kind of like, what the hell's going on? And then also I just bought a Newmark little, digital turntable, trying to get some occasional DJ gigs, maybe, make a little bit of money DJing, maybe not. The thing, it comes with Serato, but like when I plug in my DJ thing, it doesn't even like play sound. So I have to actually route it to my mixer to go into my audio interface. I can't just play it through my computer and out my speakers. I don't know, just overcomplicated stuff. And it's crazy because I get signal, but it won't go through the speakers. It's weird. It's really weird. So anyway, still trying to figure that thing out. It's professional. Excuse me, man. I got this thing going on. It's just crazy because last week I just got over my last cold. Sorry for the last podcast. I sound like total garbage. Sounding a little bit less like garbage now. So that's so weird. Yeah, man. So actually yesterday I was trying to, so I got this idea. I want to build this stand made of metal and like scraps of metal and stuff to play with my violin bow. So I went to the junkyard, 2 junkyards yesterday with my violin bow, and I was like, hey, I went up to the guy and was like, hey man, can I come in here and just check out some of your metal, like, would you sell some of your metal to me? And he's like, what are you gonna do? I was like, I'm gonna make some music instruments. I was like, nah man, you can't come in here. So yeah, I was denied, violin bow in hand and everything. They weren't buying it. So I was like, fine. But one thing about being near junkyards is usually they're near train yards. So I found one really cool spot near the junkyard where I can do some benching and watch some, which is where you can just hang out and watch freight trains roll by and do work in the train yard. Yeah, it's a nice spot. Really, I'm actually super happy that I found it. I'm quite happy with that. Man. What else? Gosh, so I'm trying out this, I'm trying this social media, trying out these social media things, promote, the music. And there's been a lot of buzz with TikTok, and I don't know, it's weird. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't even know. It's interesting. I mean, I've done already like 2 posts with some of our music on the label, and it's gotten like, man, one of them got 389 views, and that was actually a song that I used with Plastic Spirits track. So that means 389 people heard that. Another one, 345 people for my track, or Legal Threats track, Someday. So that's pretty interesting, just trying it out. It's weird. There's a lot of filters and crazy things like that. I don't know. Still trying to figure it out. Try not to shun the social media at the same time. I don't like it, but it's a necessary evil. Same thing with the Spotify stuff. Still trying to figure out the Spotify thing to make it work. And I mean, so like this is what I've picked up from how Spotify works and the data that they've collected. So like people these days are now only giving songs 30 seconds. 30 seconds of play, then that's when they determine if they like it or not. Fair play. I'm probably like 5 seconds. But that, yeah, so Spotify is all about the playlist. So like, I'm like going into Spotify, building up these playlists, with our music that's on Autolysis Records, and then I'm promoting that playlist. So like sharing the playlist on Twitter. I haven't figured out how to do it on Instagram, but there's a way to do it on TikTok. So just trying to get those plays, and then once you get those plays and people start sharing that playlist, then when your song gets played, well, then, hey, cool, you earn a little bit of scratch, and, you know, your songs are amongst the playlist of some other legends like Autechre and Aphex Twin and Phoenician Snare. So, hey, fun. But it also depends on the playlist I'm building and the music and all that other good stuff. So, yeah, it's interesting. Also, it's not about the albums anymore. It's actually all about the EPs these days. You know, 3 songs, 4 songs, and also singles. And actually, songs are, according to Spotify, songs are now becoming shorter. So people give a song 30 seconds to determine if they like it or not. And now songs are, I think, like getting down to like 2 minutes. So our attention span is getting smaller and smaller. But I mean, I don't think that's as Autolysis Records owner and founder, I don't think that's going to be what we're going to try to do, because that's kind of stupid. We're not trying to go in with the mainstream, kind of flow with it, but also give it a little resistance. You know, kind of like I don't know what that would be. Like a salmon going upstream to lay its eggs. That's exactly what it's like. Fucking not getting eaten by a bear. You know, that's what it's like. We're salmon. Autolysis Records is now salmon. Everyone who gets released through Autolysis Records becomes salmon. So yeah, did anyone else hear about this insane sounding gun rally in Richmond, Virginia? I mean, is it me? But this sounds pointless. I mean, you know, we're in a country where, like, that's in the Constitution. You have the right to bear arms. So what's the fucking point of being in a gun rally? Like, it just seems like a wasted time. I mean, what are you really trying to do there? I don't know. I'm just completely confused here. Anyone? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, gosh, what else, man? This is going to be a pretty modest episode. No music lined up. Just my pretty little voice and some updates and news and fun stuff. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this here session. So yes, I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to do a quick blast through. Follow Autolysis Records on Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel. Getting busy with that. Be sure to also listen to Plastic Spirit's newest EP, EP1. That is on all streaming devices and soon to be on cassette, which is going to be on sale. It's going to be on sale in Bandcamp. So once I get that up, it's going to be on there, and I'll let everyone know that Plastic Spirit's EP when it's ready for cassette release. Also, what else? Yes, Legal Threat's newest release, Froon, gonna be coming out. It's gonna be fun times for noise, if you're into noise. And yeah, be sure to check that out. Also, check out Brian Eno's interview on Red Bull Music. It's really interesting. All right, that is all for now. This is your host, Dan Fry, with Autolysis Records. And have yourself a wonderful weekend. Have fun and be safe out there, people. And if you have any music you like to share, send it over to me. Send me a DM, and yeah, we'll talk and be interested to hear what you got. All right, have a wonderful weekend. All right, bye.